Square Enix has moved away from Sweet Baby Inc. Is the beginning of the end for Sweet Baby's reign of terror? In a surprising move, it looks like Square Enix has ended its working relationship with Sweet Baby Inc., the consulting company that ruins games, hates gamers, and makes companies lose money. But what does this mean for the future of these iconic franchises? Is this a new direction for the studio? Will we finally get rid of Sweet Baby? Let's dive in. It's no secret that companies that have worked with Sweet Baby have been losing money like the best in Wall Street bets, and Square is no exception. All the backlash from the censorship in many of their games, like in Dragon Quest III HD Remake, to the terrible abomination that was Forspoken that lost Square lots of money, it's really been hard for them as of late. And that's not surprising, seeing as a lot of these games were made to captivate the audience with their visuals, and with Sweet Baby's approach of put a chick in it and make her gay and lame, people were not going to like the changes. The backlash from fans, particularly in Japan, has been intense. Longtime players of Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, and Kingdom Hearts expressed their frustration with the perceived dilution of characters and stories. Many felt that DEI initiatives had been implemented in a way that detracted from the core spirit of these games. Fan dissatisfaction was most visible when it came to redesigned character models or changes in content that seemed more focused on appeasing the mythical modern audience rather than staying true to the source material. Another problem is the lame writing that Sweet Baby incorporates in the games. Take Forspoken as an example. The game's writing was heavily criticized for being out of touch, riddled with cringe-worthy dialogue, and ultimately failing to connect with its audience. Many attributed these issues to the narrative influence of Sweet Baby Inc., which some fans believe focused too much on ticking off DEI boxes rather than delivering a compelling, well-rounded story. Fast forward to September 2024. Sweet Baby Inc. quietly removed Square Enix from its list of clients. While no official statement has been made by either party, the timing is interesting. This comes after growing unrest among fans, who have been increasingly vocal about their displeasure with the studio's recent narrative choices. And after Final Fantasy character designer, Tetsuya Nomura says video game characters should be attractive. Who? In a recent interview with Shueisha's Young Jump, as machine translated by DPL, Nomura was asked if there was anything you keep in mind when designing a protagonist, to which he admitted that he held a given character's visual appeal as was one of his top design priorities. He also said, "The reason I make my protagonist good-looking is that in high school, a classmate of mine was playing a game, and the protagonist wasn't very good-looking," he recalled. "My friend said, 'Why does he have to be ugly in the game world too?' And that really made an impression on me." Laughs. "From that experience, I thought, I want to be cool in the game, and that's how I design my protagonists. In my opinion, the protagonist cannot be too adventurous in terms of design and setting," said Nomura. "If he does something too eccentric, he becomes too edgy and is no longer a character that you can empathize with. I actually like characters with strong quirks, so I let the enemy characters go on adventures that the protagonist cannot." So what does this mean? Could it be that Square Enix is responding to this fan feedback? While the studio has not commented publicly, the decision to distance itself from Sweet Baby Inc. may indicate that Square Enix is taking a step back from DEI-driven alterations that fans believe compromise the integrity of their favorite franchises. This is especially noteworthy in Japan, where the studio's core fan base remains largely conservative when it comes to preserving traditional aspects of game design and character development. So, what does this split mean for the future of Square Enix's titles? With Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Kingdom Hearts IV on the horizon, fans are eager to see whether this marks a shift back toward more traditional storytelling, free from the controversial elements introduced through their work with Sweet Baby Inc. Speculation is running wild, especially with big titles like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Kingdom Hearts IV set to release soon. Will we see more traditional, unfiltered narratives in these games? Or will Square Enix continue to walk the fine line between modern inclusivity and the legacy of its established franchises? That remains to be seen. This situation highlights a broader discussion in the gaming industry about DEI initiatives. Studios are increasingly embracing more inclusive storytelling, but it raises the question, Can diversity and inclusion coexist with staying true to long-established franchises without alienating core fans? We've seen other studios navigate this terrain, with some success stories and others, not so much. Ubisoft, for instance, also worked with Sweet Baby Inc. and faced similar criticism for how they handled DEI in games like Assassin's Creed Valhalla. As more studios pursue inclusivity, balancing these initiatives with fan expectations becomes a tightrope walk, and in Square Enix's case, it appears the fan base is clearly pushing back. In the end, Square Enix's decision to cut ties with Sweet Baby Inc. signals a potential shift in how the studio approaches narrative design. Will this be a return to form for Square Enix, or just a temporary pivot to please disgruntled fans? Only time will tell. What do you think? Should we all start celebrating? Or are we too optimistic? Let's discuss in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to stay updated on all things gaming. I'll be covering more developments from Square Enix and other major gaming studios, so stay tuned.